Hi-ho for the open highway. Hi-ho for the open road. Everyone, Mr. Pugh out here on Orchard Lake with my good buddy, Ann Messerschmidt. How are you today, Ann?
I'm good, Mr. Pugh, and yourself?
Oh, doing very good, and I'm so glad we could get here out on the lake because it's changing to fall, the time of the season, and I thought we'd talk a little bit about what happens to the lake during the fall season. Can you help me out with that?
Sure, no problem. In general, it's not like super exciting, but it has to do with the temperature of the air and the temperature of the water. So when the air temperature gets cooler, then the water gets denser. So apparently at around 39 degrees, it gets heavy and it falls down. And so the water that's on the top starts falling down. So the water that's on the bottom comes to the top, and that kind of causes the lake to turn over, they call it.
What happens to the fish? Do they float down to the bottom too?
They're still there. I mean, they don't change. I mean, they'll probably stay in the layers that they like, but they need to stay in the layers that have enough oxygen. Because when the ice comes on then in the winter, the oxygen level will keep dropping if there's no groundwater inputs that bring oxygen in.
So, Ann, a few years ago, we went and visited Kingsley Lake. Now, we're on Orchard Lake. What are kind of the difference between those two lakes?
So the difference between the lakes is Kingsley Lake is more of a wetland. It's much smaller, about 40 acres. And this lake is about 234 acres, but it's still not our biggest lake. Marion is much bigger, over 1,000 acres. So we have here, though, the deepest spot is in Orchard Lake, which is about 33 feet.
33 feet?
Yep.
Wow! How many elephants is that if you stack them up on top?
Well, I don't know. How tall is an elephant? And give me a calculator, and maybe I can answer that question.
But it's pretty deep.
It's pretty deep, yep, and not the whole lake. A lot of the lake is pretty shallow, kind of where we are right now. Yeah. We're still in about 5 to 8 feet depth. A good chunk of it isn't very deep. It's just, it has the deepest spot of any lake in Lakeville.
Hey, is there an area where we could view some of the natural aquatic plants?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, let's gun it and let's see it. Here we go.
Uh-oh, I don't know which way to gun it.
Here we go. Woo-hoo! And you were right. Look at all those aquatic plants. What are those that we see here now?
Well, this is kind of cool. We can see a bunch of different plants. We got some emergent plants over there. We got cattails. And then closer, we've got some lily pads. Those are called submergent plants, where they come up and float on the top. And then we have a whole bunch in the water as well.
Oh, yeah.
There's quite a variety out here in Orchard Lake, which is really nice. That means it keeps it healthy, like we kind of talked about before. But yeah, tons of variety throughout the all the levels that it could be.
Now you've got some strange little device there that we're going to see how clear the water is. And what do you call that?
Yeah, this is called a Secchi disc, and we have volunteers.
A Secchi disc?
Secchi.
A Secchi.
S-E-C-C-I. It might be an H in there too.
Hey, you know, once you swing it back and forth, you can hypnotize me.
Well, that's true. You are getting very
sleepy. No, we don't want you to fall in the water and get sleepy.
What's kind of cool is what we do with this is we can measure the water clarity. And we do this several times a year. We drop it down till we can't see it anymore in the water. And then when you bring it back up to where you can see it, that gives you the depth, and it gives you an idea of how clear the water is. So we use volunteers, and us staff do it as well on several lakes in Lakeville. And it helps give a really good indication of what's going on in the water column.
So how deep could we see the Secchi disc?
So just now, it's measured in meters. We got 1 meter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1.9 meters. That's pretty good.
Is that good?
Yep, that's really good. We have some lakes that are like 0.3.
Oh, that's not good.
That's like this deep.
Oh, what's that green stuff on there?
Oh, a little bit of algae. It is kind of interesting in this lake. This is filamentous algae. It's kind of hairy.
Can I eat it?
I don't think you want to do that.
Darn.
But that algae, in this lake we have a weird phenomenon where there's a bunch of algae on the bottom of the lake. It's kind of interesting. It's called a benthic algae, but
It looked like an algae icy.
Yeah,
delicious.
really tasty and hairy.
Cool. Now, Ann, if anybody has any questions about the lakes and any of the natural environment here in Lakeville, can they get a hold of you someplace?
Sure, yeah, you can give me a call at 952-985-4528.
Very good. And how long before this stuff freezes over? I hope not a long time yet.
Yeah, I hope it's a while.
I know. Well, you know what? Let's power up. Let's head back in. And everybody, we'll see you next time on Nature to Nature.
Bye.
Do you remember how to start up the engine?
Really? Do we have to film this one?
Yes, we do.
No.
Let's see you do it. Come on.